Hello, I'm Vicky from Uchala Yoga and welcome to Wednesday's short, sweet yin-yang yoga session. For anybody who hasn't been before, I've designed these classes so that they are, in theory, bringing a balance to us in a physical, mental and energetic way. So in each class, what you will notice is there will be elements of what we call a yang form of yoga. So that's more active, more dynamic, more movement and more focused on the muscles. And an element of yin yoga, which is more passive, softer, slower, and we're in the poses for longer. Yin yoga focuses more on the deep connective tissue. If you're interested in yin yoga, then I also have a class on Friday at 5:30 if you'd like to join that one, which is specifically pure yin yoga. Today's theme is, the name of the class is The Beauty and Balance of Hatha. So Hatha can mean different things to different people, but the way that I'm interpreting it today is in terms of the meaning of the words ha and tha. So ha means sun and tha means moon. So I'm choosing to look at Hatha in a similar way to yin and yang, in that there are two opposing forces. So the ha, the sun, or the yang being what is more masculine. So so Hatha, for example, more active, more dynamic, and the yin or the tha, the moon, softer, passive, cooler as well. So the idea of this class, as with all yin-yang yoga classes, is to bring the balance through these two opposing forces in order to try and regain our sense of wholeness, I suppose. So that's the idea. So I'd like you just to start on the floor. So if you'd like to just sit in whatever way is comfortable. This is comfortable for me, but I don't care how you sit, as long as you're comfortable and you're feeling quite straight. And when you are in your seated position, then just close your eyes. Just bring your attention to your normal breath. Noticing where you feel it in the body, where you feel the movement in the body, the rise and fall of the shoulders, perhaps the chest, perhaps the belly. Maybe for you, you can actually hear the breath more than you can feel it, or sense the air going in and out as you breathe your normal natural breath. Just noticing if you can feel any tension in any particular part of the body. The shoulders, maybe the face, the neck, anywhere at all. And then as you breathe out, imagine that you're sending your breath to that area that feels tense, that feels tight. And see if on each out breath you can just soften that area a little bit more. And then if you just want to open your eyes and make your way onto hands and knees. So we're just going to move into down dog from here, but we're going to do it slowly so that you can really feel the movements in the back and in the legs. So tuck the toes under first of all, and then just slowly, keeping the knees bent, start bringing the hips back and up. You're still going to be up on the toes, that's fine. Just take the hips back and up as far as you can. Now when you've got them as far as you can, then you can start to bring the heels towards the floor. It doesn't matter if they don't reach, mine don't. And then again, pushing the hips back and up. And then you can just start straightening the legs, lengthening the legs. The head, you can drop the head down, lengthening the back. Lengthening the legs so you can feel it in the backs of the legs. The arms are strong, keeping the shoulder blades down and bringing the shoulder blades towards each other. Just stretching out the back part of the body. And then walk towards the hands at the front of the mat. Stay folded over. And then again, you don't need to bend the knees, but start to bring the hips up so that you can feel a stretch in the backs of the thighs. Knees can still be bent, that's fine. And then we're just coming up in your own way, but just rolling up to the center, arms stretched up. And then bring the palms together and down in front of the chest. So what we're going to do first is we're going to do a Sun Salutation. So stay at the front of your mat. I'm going to be a little bit backwards from the front of my mat because there's a wall in the way. Bring the palms together. Close your eyes again, come back to your breath. Slowing down the breath. So we're going to use the movements with the breath, breathing in for 4 and out for 4. Using a soft Ujjayi breath if you know Ujjayi, if you know ocean breathing. Otherwise, just breathe your normal breath in and out of the nose, in for 4, out for 4. Comfortable 4. You don't want to be straining. Okay, breathe out completely. Breathe in, stretch up. Breathe out, fold forward. Bring the palms down again. Fold forward, let go of the hands. Hands go onto the floor. Breathe in, now bring the shoulder blades towards each other. Straighten the back. Breathe out, fold forward, hands on the floor. Breathe in, right leg goes back. Breathe out, then just allow the shoulder blades to come together again. Take the back knee down. Breathe in, you can keep the hands there or you can stretch up. Breathe out, drop down so you can feel a stretch on the front of that back leg. Breathe in, stretch up. Breathe out, bring the hands down so they're either side of the front foot. Breathe in, take that front foot back so you're in a plank pose, hands on the floor. Breathe out, stay here. Breathe in. Breathe out, knees, chest, chin. Breathe in, come up to cobra, shoulder blades together. Breathe out, stay here. Breathe in. Breathe out, come down. Breathe in, tuck the toes under, go into down dog. Breathe out, stay here. Breathe in, you can either raise the right foot up or just walk to the front. If you've got the right foot up, bring it between the hands. And then bring the front foot together. You could have just walked to the front there if you wanted to. Breathe in, go to flat back. Breathe out, fold forward. Breathe in, coming up, palms together. Breathe out, palms in front of the heart. Okay, again, Breathe in, hands go up. Breathe out, keep the hands together, keep them in prayer, folding forward, hands on the floor. Breathe in, go to flat back. Breathe out, fold forward. Breathe in, left foot goes back. Breathe out, back knee goes down. Breathe in, stretch up. Breathe out, drop down so you feel a stretch on the front of that back leg. Breathe in, stretch up. Breathe out, hands go on either side of the front foot. Breathe in, front foot to back foot into plank. Breathe out, stay here, pushing into ground. Breathe in. Breathe out, knees, chest and chin. Bend the elbows, breathe in, coming up into cobra. Breathe out, shoulder blades together, stay here. Breathe in. Breathe out, coming down. Breathe in, tuck the toes under, go into down dog. Breathe out, stay in down dog. Breathe in, left foot goes up or just walk to the front. Breathe out, foot between the hands. Breathe in, bring the feet together. Breathe out, fold forward. Breathe in, go to flat back. Breathe out, fold forward. Breathe in, coming up. Breathe out, palms together in front of the heart. Okay, so now we're going to move into a couple of standing poses. So just keeping the hands together in front of the heart. Bring the left foot out into quite a wide stance. Bring the arms up so they're out to the sides. So the way that we want it is that the right foot is pointing forward and the left foot, I just want you to move it around so it's kind of sideways, but what we want to feel is a stretch in the inside thigh without any discomfort, without any pinching or anything. So play with the heel, play with the toes. Find where you're getting that stretch without anything hurting. Bend the front knee. Notice again, how does this back leg feel? Bring the shoulders down, bring the shoulder blades together. Move the front foot if you need to. You want to avoid the knee being too far forward so as not to have any pressure on the knee. So you might want to bring that front foot further forwards. Again, breathe in and breathe out. Breathe in. Breathe out. Bring that elbow, that right elbow down to the right knee. And bring the left arm up. So this time you might notice the stress in the legs is different. Keep that back leg strong. Keep that front knee open and notice where you're feeling it in that front leg. Perhaps it's more on the inside, perhaps it's more on the back of the leg. And then just bring that top arm further over. So now the target area is the side of the body. We've still got it in the leg, but we should also have a stretch in the side of the body. Stretch the arm out. And if you're feeling any pinching in the shoulder, move the arm a bit. Move it forwards, for example. Seeing if you can maintain that stretch in the side without the pinch in the shoulder. Now look down. And then come up again. Front knee is still bent. Straighten the legs. Bring the right toes in. Take the left toes out, and this time, bend the left knee. Play with the feet again, so that you've got a stretch on the inside of the right thigh, keeping this front knee open, so you can also feel it on the inside of the left thigh as well. Bring the shoulders down. Imagine you're bringing the shoulder blades together to open the chest. And on the next out breath, bend the left elbow, place it on the left thigh. And then the same thing as before, you can look to the right, bring that right arm up, stretching up. Notice where you're feeling it in the legs. Where are you feeling it in that front leg? Keep that back leg strong. Remember to move the feet around if you need to, if you're feeling anything hurting you. And then again, bring that arm down, stretching it out so that you can feel a stretch on the right side. Looking underneath the arm like I am if that's okay for you. If not, that's fine. And then look down, bring the arm down, coming back up again to warrior two. Straighten that leg, bring the toe in so the toes are both facing forwards. And then just toe heel back to the center. Standing balances are quite good practice. Let's roll the shoulders a bit. We were actually using the shoulders quite a lot there. Moving backwards and forwards. Quite good practice for a standing balance because you do need to focus. With standing poses, let's just do it. So, when you're doing balancing poses, try to find a point that you can focus on in the distance. That can be really helpful. Keeping the legs strong and really using the muscles of the standing leg to help you keep your balance. And it does take practice. And as you see, balance is not my strongest point myself anyway. So let's give it a go. Rooting into the ground with the feet, keeping the legs strong. Hands on the hips. Now just start to bring your weight into the left foot. So you're bending the right knee. Weight's in the left foot, keeping that leg strong. So you can stay here, if you like, with just the toe on the floor. If this is enough for you, stay here. That's fine. Otherwise, you can bring the knee up and you can put the hand on the knee. These are all stages of what you can do. And then if this is okay for you, then stay here. Otherwise, bring that knee out to the side. Remember to find that spot in the distance. We're opening up the hips here to focus on, keeping that left leg strong, activating the muscles, and then opening up the hips by bringing the right knee out to the side. And then bringing it back in again. You can even straighten it out if you want to. Bend it again. And then take it down. And then just shake the legs or whatever you want to do before we go to the other side. Remember, each of these steps I give you, you can stay at each point. You don't need to move on to the next one. Listen to where you are today. Hands on the hips. Rooting the feet into the ground. Strong legs. Bringing the weight, kind of pouring the weight into the right leg. Bending the left knee. Coming up on the toe. Staying here if this is your balance, as this is where you want to be. Fine, stay. Otherwise, bend the left knee and you can hold on. If this is where you want to stay, then stay here. Otherwise, open out the knee to the side. Finding that balance. Finding that point that you can focus on in the distance. Don't worry if you fall over. As you can see, I think I'm probably going to. And then bringing it back to the center. Straightening the leg out briefly if you want to. Bending. And then bringing it back down again. This is why I don't do balance poses very much in these classes. It's something that I really need to work on. Shake the legs. And then we're going to move down and we're going to move into the yin part. So just separate the legs. Now you may need props for this. So if you've got any, I grab them. Books, cushions, whatever you've got, grab them now. Pillows, blocks, whatever. And then just separating the feet and just come down into a squat. So we're going to start with a yang squat. So I mean using the muscles. So you can move the legs around. Your heels may come to the floor, they may not. It doesn't matter. But you can feel as if you're bringing the heels towards the floor, and that activates the legs. Put the palms together and then put the elbows on the insides of the thighs. So this is a yang squat. So you're pressing the hands together. The elbows are against the insides of the knees. So you should, I'm hoping, be able to feel this. If you just close your eyes, where can you feel this? So for example, maybe the inside thighs. And maybe you may be able to feel this also in the back or the shoulders, because we are pressing against the arms. Just notice where you can feel it here in this yang version, where we're activating the muscles. Now we're going to move into a yin form. So for this, let go of the hands. And what you might want to do, because we're going to stay in it for a couple of minutes, is you might want to put something underneath the heels, if they're up off the floor, or if perhaps it's not feeling comfortable in the ankles, because there's compression here in the front of the ankles actually. So you can also move the feet if you want to, maybe a bit wider. Perhaps you might want to move the heels out a bit, maybe. Play with that until that feels a bit more comfortable. And if there's still too much pressure on the heels, then perhaps you might even want to move the blocks a bit so that you potentially perhaps sit back on them without falling off. Sit back on them, maybe put a blanket on, play with it, yeah, because you've still got that decompression in the spine, which is one of the main reasons that we do the squat pose. Yeah, that's better on my ankles. Okay, so in the yin way, what we're going to do is we're going to focus more on stretching the connective tissue, stretching the spine. So then just as long as your neck is okay with this, just put your hands, link your hands, put them behind your head. And just allow yourself to just relax into the pose. Now if at any point it's feeling like it is for me actually too much on the heels, then because our focus, our target area is actually more the spine here, if you want to go into a wide-legged child's pose instead, then please do that, just sitting on the feet. So with the yin part of the class, allow yourself to relax into the pose. You can move the hands around on the head for more or less pressure, but just make sure that you're not pushing. You're relaxing into the pose. So in these yin-yang yoga sessions, we don't stay as long in the yin poses as we would do normally. Just a couple of minutes in general.
So then just let go of the head. Slowly bring the head up.
And then just move briefly into a seated position that's comfortable, that you haven't got any strain on anything. A seated position where you're able to rest the ankles actually. Close your eyes and we're just going to briefly notice the rebound. So the rebound is the part of the pose or after the pose. Where we feel what's happened in the body, in the areas, in the tissues that we've just stressed. So in that last pose, we stretch the muscles of the back. And we also stretched the back of the ankles. And we compress the front of the ankles. So you may be feeling quite a lot going on in the ankles here. I'm hoping that it feels stimulated rather than painful, because we do not want pain. Always listen to your body. If anything ever doesn't feel right, adjust the pose or come out completely. So now we're going to move into another pose. We're going to do it first in a yang way, activating the muscles. Then we're going to do it in a yin way, focusing on the deep connective tissue. So bring the soles of the feet together. So first in the yang form of this pose, bring the feet as close to you as is comfortable. Again, no pain, but what we're looking for here is a stretch on the inside thighs. Now if, like me, you feel like you're falling backwards here, you might want to sit up on something, which is what I'm going to do. And with the yang form, what we're trying to do here is we are kind of gently moving the knees towards the floor. Put the hands wherever you want, by the way, on the feet, on the ankles, on the floor, wherever you like. And we're gently encouraging the knees towards the floor to get that stretch on the inside thighs. Keep the back straight for now, keeping the chest open. Moving the feet either a bit further away or more towards you if anything is hurting you. Or if you would like more stretch, perhaps in the inside thighs, bring the feet further towards you, closer in. Gently encouraging those knees down, activating the muscles, but no force, never any force in whatever kind of yoga you do. Effort and force are different. So you can feel a stretch on the inside thighs, keeping the back straight. Or if you like, for this last part, you can fold forward, but keep the back straight to keep the back muscles strengthened. Keep the back straight in this yang version. You may go down quite far, you may not go down far at all, like me. Keeping the knees going down. And then come up if you folded forward. Now we're going to do the yin variation. So you can keep the feet there if you want, or if you find that if you want to fold forward more and you felt that you couldn't really, then you can also try moving the feet forward so it's more of a diamond shape. If you're feeling, by the way, at any point that your knees are not feeling good, then you can put, for example, a block underneath the knee or underneath a different part of the leg to support it. And then for the yin version, we're folding forward, but we're rounding the spine. So again, we're stretching the spine. We're not pushing. We're relaxing into it for the yin form of the pose. Now bring your attention to the inside thighs again. So we're still stretching the same target area as we did in the yang form of this pose.
But maybe you'll notice, or maybe you're not, that perhaps it feels a little bit different, because what we're trying to do here by relaxing is we're trying to get past the muscles and we're trying to get into all those other tissues, those deeper tissues. So the stress may feel a bit different, even though it's in a similar area, even though it's on the inside thighs, but it's a deeper stretch as long as we're relaxed. Just ask yourself, am I relaxed in that area, in the hips, in the thighs? Is it relaxed? Is my back relaxed? Or am I pushing in some way? And if so, again, as we were doing at the start, imagine that you are sending your breath into that area and see if you can soften it. Okay, so then we're going to come up, so then just roll up. As I said, we don't stay as long in these poses as we would in a pure yin class. Bring the knees in. If you're sitting up on something, then you might want to move that away. Just close your eyes just for a few moments, just to notice the rebound. So to feel how the inside thighs feel after doing that pose in a yang way, a more active way, and a yin way, a more passive way. A ha way and a tha approach. Okay, so now we're going to move on to the last, final pose before Shavasana. So then we're going to use the length of the mat here. Grab a block or a book if you have one. If you've got a book or if you've got a hard block, you might want to put a blanket on top for this. I will show you another option if you don't have a book or a block. Bend the knees, come back. Keep the knees bent. Can you see me? Yeah, I think so. Come forward a bit. And then we're going to move into bridge pose, so the yang form. So then just slowly bring your hips up. So you can bring the arms together if you want to. You can put them flat on the floor, or maybe you might want to hold the hands. So we're pushing the hips up here to bring some compression, to bring a back bend in. If you're feeling this in the knees at all, then just play with the legs a bit, maybe separating them a bit, see if that helps. Or bringing them a bit further together, see if that helps. Same with if you're feeling any uncomfortable pressure in the lower back. We do want some kind of pressure in the lower back, but we don't want it to be hurting. So bringing the hips up. Relaxed effort, but not forcing the body into anything it doesn't want to do. And on the next out breath, we're going to come down. So slowly, vertebrae by vertebrae, take the arms away. And then come on to the upper back, the middle back, the lower back. You can keep the knees bent for now, but then just relax the body before we move into the yin version. Couple of breaths. And then for the yin version, which we call pontoon, but it's basically the yin version of bridge. Take a block. You can start on the lowest if you want to. And then you can keep the knees bent if you would like, or you could straighten out the legs. So we're, again, same thing, back bend, and then opening up the front area. You can put the arms up on the floor above you, or you can put them out to the sides. Or as I said, you can keep the knees bent if that's more comfortable for you for the next 2 minutes or so. Alternatively, you can go up a bit higher. So this block or book should be on the right at the bottom, so the top of the bum, the bottom of the spine, the bony bit there. And again, play with it. Straighten the legs. How does that feel? Remember, we're staying here for 2 minutes and we're trying to relax into the pose. So if this is too high, go back down again. Yep, find where your pose is. Now, if you don't have a block or a book, I'll show you an alternative option. So then just move over, roll over onto your front. And we're going to move into Sphinx pose, which is a yin version of Cobra that we did before. So go up onto the elbows. And as you can see, we've got a back bend here. We're opening up the front, so the same as we were doing actually with the pontoon. Now, if you feel that is an uncomfortable sensation in the lower back, you can try separating the legs. And because we want a bit of pressure in the lower back, if this is enough, stay here. If you'd like some more, you can bend the knees. That gives more of a dip in the lower back. Play with the legs, put them where you want. And if that still isn't enough, then another option is to put something, not blocks because you haven't got blocks, for example, cushions underneath the elbows to bring you up a bit further. Possibly even go up onto the hands with the knees up, with the feet up, or with the feet down. So a few different options there. We'll be in this for another minute or so. When you found the pose, even if you're in pontoon or if you're in Sphinx, the pose that I just showed you, just see if you can relax the muscles so that we can get into that connective tissue. Close the eyes. And just for the last 30 seconds or so, see how the body feels. Notice if you're tensing anything, clenching anything. See if you can relax the area. Okay, so we're going to move out of this. If you're still in Sphinx, stay there just for a bit longer. If you're in pontoon, then just bend the knees. Gently lift the hips. Take that block away and again slowly come down, upper back, middle back, lower back. And then just straighten the legs out. And then we're going to move into Shavasana. So just allow your body to relax in whatever position is comfortable for you, as long as it's neutral and it's relaxed. And close your eyes. And just allow your breathing to go back to normal. For anybody who's in Sphinx pose or Seal, which is up on the hands, then again, bend the elbows if they're not bent already. Bring yourself down slowly. And for you, bring the arms down both sides. You can stay if you want for Shavasana on your front, with your forehead on the floor or your head to the side, or you can turn over onto your back if you prefer, whatever is most comfortable for you. And for everybody now, just close your eyes if you haven't done already. Move the body if you need to into a more comfortable position, either on your front or on your back. Just allow the body to relax. And allow it to take in the effects of both the yin and the yang practice, the ha and the tha, the opposite forces, the opposite energies, if you like. Allow yourself to absorb them with the idea, as I said, to try and bring some balance. And I will leave you here now, but please just give it a couple of minutes at least before you move on. This final resting pose is probably the most important pose of our whole practice. Allowing your body to take in the effects of what you've done. Give it some time. Be patient. A couple more minutes isn't going to harm. It's going to help. My next session is on Friday, 5:30 UK time, and that will be pure yin yoga. So if you'd like to join me then, please do. Thank you for coming today.